always wants to let his teammates into the game before he cooks, as he did the other day. Marv, it would seem to me that Michael will not want to be as patient with his teammates tonight. I would look for him to go early and go strong in the offensive end of things.
Michael also admitted that he was a bit too hyper for the game on Sunday. Let's see how he reacts at the start. Joe Crawford, Bill Oakes, Stan Crawford, the officials. Tonight's overhead camera shot brought to you by the Upper Deck Company. Nobody does basketball like Upper Deck. And the New York Knicks control the opening tip. Doc Rivers met on the switch momentarily and gets it over to John Starks. Charles Smith getting position, facing the double team. And it's an open shot for Patrick Ewing. Loose ball foul is called against the Knicks. A push assessed to Charles Smith.
One of these statistics that I think the press failed to harp on, Marv, was that the Knicks shot in the first game 55% and the Bulls 43. The Knicks want to certainly duplicate that high shooting percentage again if they can.
Bill Cartwright working down low. The Bulls want Cartwright to get into it early. He was not able to get into it at all on Sunday.
That is one of the predictable patterns of the Bulls. They'll go to Cartwright early to do just that.
And as we look down the road with the Knicks having the decisive advantage off the boards on Sunday, we can look for a bit more of Scott Williams as Oakley buries the jumper to tie the game at 2. There is the feeling that Scottie Pippen will move to the backcourt and Scott Williams will come on to bang. Here's Grant working inside. And Starks hustles it down. Ewing going right at Cartwright, and it's tipped home. The Knicks 4, and the Bulls 2. Ewing able to tip it home.
A most unusual effort type tip in by Ewing.
The chant of defense. Pippen played tightly by Smith.
This is what you expect. Jordan to use his superior height and strength over Starks as much as he can. So he goes low and posts up John successfully.
So the game is tied at 4 as Michael Jordan is able to hit on his first field goal attempt. Starks for 3. Rebound Ewing off the fake. Knicks 6. The Bulls 4.
Ewing's instincts are so wise early by taking the ball to the rim and not backing away.
Patrick Ewing got off to the good start the other day. Here is Jordan. Rebound back tap. Jordan around Ewing, and he is fouled. Foul committed by Charles Oakley.
So right away, we see Jordan involved almost every time at the offensive end for the Bulls. He is not going to wait for the game to come to him. He's going to try in his Jordan-like way to take control of this game from the outset.
And as announced earlier, Charles Barkley winning Most Valuable Player honors. Hakeem Olajuwon second, Michael Jordan third, and Patrick Ewing was a distant 4th in the battling. They double up on Rivers, so pressure right at the start. The ball was knocked out of bounds by Armstrong. One of the main concerns of the Knicks coaching staff, the 24 turnovers committed on Sunday, their highest total of the playoffs, with 13 of those turnovers, as Pat Riley said, unforced. Smith gets inside, and Jordan with the rebound. The game is tied at 6. Jordan fires down, but Pippen could not hold on.
Pass was delivered perfectly to Pippen.
Let's see how the Bulls played in terms of pressure. They will throw it on and off. They use the element of surprise when they go with the trap. Rivers for 3. Yes. Doc Rivers surprised Michael Jordan.
Doc Rivers, with his veteran status, was not intimidated by Michael.
That will count. It's a goaltend off a beautiful move by Jordan.
Well, it's the sense of here he comes again. Michael, in his unique way, finding a way to the basket again.
The Knicks 9, the Bulls 8. Wild pass. Rivers thought he had Smith. but the pass off the mark, and the Bulls will get it back.
You know that whoever Jordan is guarding, in this case Rivers, at this particular moment has a job to keep him busy. So Rivers wants to do a lot on the offensive end to try and wear out Jordan if he can.
A.J. Armstrong had a good one on Sunday. Horace Grant coming back from the sprained ankle. Jordan was pushed, and he'll go to the line. Foul committed by John Starks. That is his first.
Marv, what we are seeing here right now in the opening 4 minutes of this game is the play of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. I mean, he is the offense so far.
And he's tied the game at 9. Well, Phil Jackson on many an occasion has said he would prefer if the scoring is distributed, because he feels over the long haul it is not good for the ball club if Jordan does too much scoring. But in this particular situation, with the Bulls trying to tie the series at 1, foul called, Crawford indicating the foul, a hold on Grant. In this situation, not that it's desperation time, it's only game 2 of the best of 7, but the Bulls would certainly feel better going back to Chicago with the series even at 1. Here's Smith taking the pass from Oakley and laying it in, and the Knicks lead by 1. Perhaps Phil Jackson does not mind that Michael Jordan will dominate.
Yes, Phil prefers winning, that's for sure. And Michael is the one single player in this league who can kind of do it by himself.
Oh, what a tip by Pippen. Scottie Pippen slamming it home to give the Bulls a 12-11 lead.
Against this on-again, off-again pressure that the Bulls are presenting to the Knicks after the Bulls score, the Knicks are giving different looks. Here's another look at that Pippen follow. Kind of made that look rather incidental. He was up so high. But the Knicks are having 4 different people now bring the ball up court.
4 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Charles Smith had the strong game on Sunday, putting the moves on Horace Grant, getting it out to Charles Oakley. And it's Smith able to chase it down. Starks with the duck under move. Feeds Oakley, and he's fouled. Scottie Pippen called for his first.
Well, the move was initiated by Starks faking out Jordan, getting around him, and then doing what he's learned to do in his continuing involvement as a player in the NBA, and that is to give the ball up after he has the full thrust to the basket. He doesn't necessarily have to force the shot, and he gave it up to Oakley at the end of the move.
Charles Oakley on the line for the first time. Charles has come on strong in the playoffs, averaging just under 12 points per game as opposed to his regular season average, just under 7, increasing the rebounds, and he's received more playing time, averaging 34.5 minutes per game on Sunday. And in game 1, Charles did not do it offensively, only 2 out of 5 from the field, but he had 14 rebounds. The game is tied at 12. Oakley steps out against Armstrong. Crowd wanted to travel on Grant. Jordan for 3. Yes! Michael Jordan from downtown. The Bulls 15 and the Knicks 12. And Jordan has 11 of the Bulls' 15 points. 5 minutes gone by. Oakley hit. Fouled by Grant. That's 2 on Horace Grant.
Well, Horace let Oakley get in front of him. Oakley was right under the basket. That's the biggest sin of all that he created.
And we will see Scott Williams in just a moment. We'll check in, replacing Grant. Nice pass. Ewing for Smith.
That's the advantage that Charles Smith enjoys over Scottie Pippen. 3+ inches in height, and he made the most of it.
The Bulls by 1. The call away from the ball. It's on Smith, reaching it up high. Timeout has been taken. That's number 2 on Smith. Michael Jordan opening up fast. He's hit 3 out of 4, 11 points in all. We'll be right back.
Although he probably feels he's not shooting very well at that 7 out of 16 from the field, but he's certainly drawing fouls.
It is Chicago ball as we get underway in the third quarter. Armstrong and Jordan in the backcourt. Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant up front. Grant is playing with 3 fouls. And Oakley playing with 3. Shot clock at 6. Armstrong. Yes. B.J. Armstrong has been out of the offense. That is only his first field goal. And the Bulls lead by 2.
And his first shot after 16 minutes of play in the first half. Perhaps Phil Jackson was right with a 49-all first half. The first team to 100 just might win this game.
Here's Starks. Ewing with the tip. Patrick Ewing has 14 points, and he's tied the game at 51. Pippen with a nice fake.
Ewing gathering himself. He fell down on that play. Looked at the official. Got no sympathy. And Knicks wait for him to come down. Wisely do that.
Shot clock at 5. Smith. Ewing just did beat the 24. Both teams have played excellent defense. Shots are very hard to come by, as you may have noticed. Rivers on the recovery. Look out. Grant went flying.
Good team defense, Marv, means everybody plays tough defense on a team. And both these teams play excellent defense, which means they all are working at it.
And Oakley gets inside to give the Knicks a 53-51 lead. 7 points for Oakley.
Well, he used to beat up on Horace Grant, who played behind him in Chicago when they were teammates, and he seems to be continuing that tonight.
Grant turning around to shoot the jump shot. 7th rebound for Ewing. Ewing and Oakley each with 7. Rivers for 3. Yes.
And that's a rare play when Doc Rivers will come down and pop away as he comes over half court. That ball hardly touched the rim. Touched the net, rather.
The Bud Dunk of the Game is brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud.
And it's time for the Bud Dunk of the Game. The Bulls in motion. Scottie Pippen gives it to the best of all. Michael Jordan with the Bud Dunk of the Game and a massage for Greg Anthony. Doc Rivers just came down over half court. He didn't wait to set up the offense. He became the offense with the long three-point shot.
It's the biggest lead of the game for the Knicks. They've scored 7 unanswered, and for Doc, his second three-pointer of the night. The Garden is rocking as the Knicks have taken a 56-51 lead. 2:40 gone by in the third. Shot clock at 5. Jordan. And last touch by Pippen.
You see, the big thing, aside from contesting Jordan's jump shot, the big thing that's happening here is that he cannot get in the middle. He can't get in to dunk that ball, draw fouls. He's not getting around people. And the Knicks, when he does put the ball on the floor, converge in the middle and are taking that away.
Well, the help provided by Ewing and Oakley and Smith has really hurt Jordan. Knicks keep it alive, and Jordan gets to it. Pippen alley-oops Grant. The play by Starks to break it up. looking for the steal. Jordan. The Knicks 56, the Bulls 53. Patrick Ewing back in his gambling mode. He was successful on Sunday. Starks came off a pick. Nice setup for Smith.
Grant, a non-factor in this game for the Bulls so far, not providing any internal strength.
Rivers off the steal and foul. Armstrong called for the foul.
Doc Rivers continues to add, and he steals that ball. He read what Pippen had in mind for B.J. Armstrong, who fouls Doc. Last time down court, John Starks driving to the basket, draws attention, gives it up to Charles Smith.
Doc Rivers once again instrumental in the spark being provided to the New York Knicks, who now lead 58-53. Doc is 5 of 7 from the line, and he has 18 points.
Knicks have really taken a fast break away from the Bulls' attack. They have scored only 8 points in that area. The Bulls, that is. The Knicks only 4 themselves on the fast break in. But that's what they say the playoffs are all about, half-court basketball.
The Knicks lead by 6. With an 11-2 run.
Jordan trying to post up down low, didn't get the ball, still staying down there.
Armstrong, Bulls being forced into difficult shots. They're having a very tough time finding good shots.
Knicks are on the verge of getting a 10-point lead now for the first time this game. The fans sense it.
Illegal defense has been called for the first time.
Jordan with a lot to say to Charles Smith. Oakley stepping in. Oakley is quite friendly with his former teammate Michael Jordan.
Minutes gone by, third quarter. Starks. John Starks with only his second field goal. But he is a streak shooter, and the Knicks will be looking for Starks to catch fire. Here's Cartwright. Last touched by the Knicks.
Hey, those are the signs that have to drive Phil Jackson crazy when people like Cartwright underneath the basket miss a layup. That happened to Jordan the other day in the fourth quarter. He missed 2. That means the Knicks defense is scaring the Bulls.
The Knicks lead is now 9 off this 13-2 run. Jordan has been quiet following the outburst at the start. John Paxson is back on the floor. They double up on Pippen. Jordan battling his way, and the foul is called on Starks. Basket won't count. But John Starks is third.
John doing his best to stay with Jordan. Bumps him a little bit here. Looks like Jordan gave off the left elbow, however. Meanwhile, that was followed by a long conversation between Pippen and Jordan. You'd think they'd know what each other was thinking. They wouldn't even have to talk, those two.
Paxson rubbing off the pick to find Grant. The tip by Jordan. Mentioned Grant not able to get involved. Picked up the early fouls. He's playing with 3. He's now 0 for 4 from the field.
They desperately need him to be successful, and it's starting to show on the scoreboard now.
The Knicks lead is 7. And a foul call. It's on Pippen. Charles Smith and Charles Oakley just went face to face in a very emotional conversation. Rivers foul. Again, Rivers will go to the line. A hold
You mentioned Marv Oakley and Charles Smith, two forwards meeting for an emotional meeting. I think it was all positive, though.
We've often, in our production meetings, had those kind of get-togethers.
Just don't pull my tie anymore.
Knicks 63, the Bulls 55. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the third. It is now Jordan and Paxson in the backcourt. Pippen, Grant, and Cartwright up front. Rivers guarding Jordan. Rivers doing an excellent job. Here's Grant off a screen. It's an unusual play to see a forward get that deep with a screen being set.
Yes, you're right about that. Jordan picked it out, though.
Knicks now lead 64-57. So Horace Grant finally scores. Ewing, got an extra step there. And was able to hit it. The Bulls are very upset. Talked about that the other day with Bill Cartwright, who claims that Patrick Ewing and Shaquille O'Neal was the other player he named, constantly getting away with the travel.
Well, he took the two big step and started out, which was a walk, and Jordan and not retain a consistent touch on the long jump shooting.
The Knicks lead is 9. Pippen knocked it away. Smith with the recovery. Smith for Oakley. Here's Smith. And Oakley hustles it down. What a play by Charles Oakley. His 10th rebound. Knicks on every loose ball. They have out-hustled the Bulls to this point. Shot clock at 5. Nice pass. Ewing finding Oakley. The Knicks open up an 11-point lead, and the Bulls will talk it over.
There's an unhappy coach. There's no defense for him. 11-point lead now enjoyed by the Knicks. A lot of it due to our information from Dutch Boy in the paint. Those are rebounding numbers from the other day, but their scoring in this game is very high for the Knicks, and those rebounds are what the total was for the Knicks the other day, 28-48 in favor of the Knicks. They're killing the Bulls again on the boards. What a play by Charles Oakley, saving that ball headed for the out-of-bounds area. Doc Rivers holding that ball, setting things up. Waiting to move. He's got Jordan in front of him. A little delayed pick from Ewing. And Patrick Ewing, after some movement, finds Charles Oakley inside. And that really made Phil Jackson crazy. That was too easy for the Knicks from his viewpoint.
19-6 run by the Knicks. Anthony Mason is back on the floor. Rivers got a piece of it. And Mason was able to gobble it up. Knicks by 11. Their biggest lead of the night. 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the third. Knicks trying to make it 2-0 in this best of 7. The Bulls want to go back to Chicago. Tied at 1. Starks for 3. Yes! Well, John Starks is heating up. And the Knicks now lead 71-57. But the story here has been the Knicks defensive play. They have not allowed the Bulls good shots. Rivers called for the reach-in. And Michael Jordan is having about as much trouble as I have ever seen him have in terms of finding decent shot opportunities.
He's getting no room either, Marv. That's the story. But John Starks, after one field goal in the first half, is coming on strong now. And boy, that's really going to deflate the Bulls if this continues.
Now Doc Rivers doing the job on Jordan. He has not allowed any good shots. Pippen was fouled. Mason called for his third. And Pippen will go to the line. Scottie Pippen is 3 out of 4 from the line. A technical foul has just been handed out. Double technical. Bill Cartwright and Charles Oakley. Both had a bit too much to say, and again, it was Bill Oakes.
Well, he's the man. He's the man you got to avoid. I mean, you got to give Bill Oakes some special attention if you're a player, because he has indicated tonight he will have no patience with any kind of verbal responses. And that is Bill Oakes.
Here's Stacey King for Bill Cartwright, who once again has not done the job.
And Bill with 2 rebounds and 1 field goal in the game.
And Pippen misses on both. So the Knicks with the hot shooting here in the third, as opposed to the Bulls with just under 3 minutes left, third quarter. And the Knicks lead by 14. Starks. And Jordan looks to run. Knicks able to get back. Paxson spots up for 3. Grant pops it out. Jordan for 3. And back come the Knicks. It's a 3-on-2. Oakley misjudged on that pass. And King able to come up with it. Here's Pippen. It's the style the Bulls would love to play. Pippen hits and a foul. Ewing called for the foul, and Pippen will go to the line. The first time tonight that the Bulls have actually been able to run the floor on consecutive sequences.
Well, Ewing was there, so Pippen decided not to take him on, but he gave him the head fake. Did a beautiful job getting it up. Ewing goes for that fake and looks at Pippen with a lot of disdain, like, how could you make that shot? But Patrick left his feet, and he shouldn't have done that. He should just position himself, put the hands up, but he bought that fake of Pippen.
Foul on Ewing, his third. Now Paxson takes the seat. Scott Williams is back. Pippen missed his last 2, make it his last 3. Scottie Pippen is not a good free throw shooter. And tonight, 3 of 7 from the line. Knicks 71, the Bulls 59. Bulls have had their problems at the line. Patrick Ewing with 18 points.
There are so many people on the Knicks hurting the Bulls. Ewing tuning in, tuning out on offense. He's always there on defense. The Bulls depending on 2 people exclusively, and there's one of them, Scottie Pippen. It's a beautiful move.
Pippen has 15. Greg Anthony has checked back in. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Mason up front.
Tough for Greg to get anywhere, though. He dribbles the ball a lot. He's not losing it, but he's not getting anywhere with it.
Starks for Ewing. And that's a 24-second violation because Ewing did not hit the rim.
But the bubble gum popped out of his mouth, and he juggled it until he caught it, and it didn't hit the floor and went back in his mouth. And that's important, too, Marv.
Played the deflection just perfectly, didn't he? Pat Riley takes a timeout.
A 73-61, 126 left in the third quarter. Knicks are happy to announce that Game 4 on Monday in Chicago will be followed by a post-game show, a special playoff edition following our sports desk, usual sports desk.
That is if the Knicks should be up 3 games to nothing, which may be a very optimistic way of looking at things. Michael Jordan able to hit, and he was fouled.
As usual, the Bulls, when they are desperate, continue to go to Michael Jordan, who executes a spectacular move successfully and draws the foul.
Foul committed by Ewing, his 4th. And he'll sit down. Charles Smith will check in. Here's Orlando Blackman for Greg Anthony. So Blackman and Starks in the backcourt now. A minute 11 to go in the third, and the Knicks with a 10-point lead.
What is going on with the foul shooting by the superstars of the Chicago Bulls? Pippen unsuccessful, now Jordan missing one.
Knicks now lead by 10. Bulls have missed the last 4 free throws. Shot Clock running down. It's at 5. Jordan nearly picked it off. Shot clock at 2. Starks. Oh, what a shot! He just did beat the 24 with Jordan in his face. The Knicks by 13. 40 seconds left in the third. Scott Williams not able to connect on that post-up move.
Well, Michael Jordan said it the other day after John Starks' performance. He's turned his cockiness into confidence. And it's pouring forth now for John once again.
You know what I sense also? Michael Jordan losing confidence in his teammates. Smith. As much as Jordan dominated the offense early, he did pull back. But I could just sense from seeing so much of Jordan these past few years, he's giving the ball up, and the rest of the Bulls are not doing it, and he's getting down, which will mean that we will see him completely dominate the fourth quarter. That, I think in his mind, is the only shot the Bulls will have right here. 7 seconds left in the third. The only other Bull, as you mentioned, who has been respectable, is Scottie Pippen, has actually played well. He's at 7 of 10, 17 points. Phil Jackson with substitutions now. Tucker, Paxson, Armstrong come on for the last second shot opportunity.
I don't know when I've seen a less than spectacular front line of the Bulls, but still they're formidable and have had many terrific moments over their 2 championship seasons. But the front line is invisible tonight. Name a guy. Stacey King sitting there on the right, nothing much. Horace Grant, nothing. Bill Cartwright, invisible. The nickname is sadly picked up here in New York on occasion, but none of the front line is really having a good evening tonight at all. But we do have another quarter left.
Knicks lead by 14, 7 seconds remaining in the third. Jordan puts the move on Anthony and goes all the way. The tip missed by Pippen. After 3, the Knicks 77 and the Bulls 63. The Chicago Bulls with only 14 points in the third quarter.
And look who's heating up now in the second half. These are the kind of shots opposing coaches like their opponents to take. But John Starks now, for the second game in a row, is making the crazy shots.
The Knicks outscoring the Bulls 28-14 in the third quarter to take command. The Knicks with their biggest lead of the game. It's John Starks now with 9 points. He's hit 4 out of 10 following the slow start. Doc Rivers, the unlikely high point man for the Knicks, with 21. Patrick Ewing has 18. Michael Jordan leading Chicago with 31, but he is 10 of 23 from the field, coming off the 10 for 27 on Sunday.
Boy, Marv, you go back to last summer when the Knicks made the big deal to bring Charles Smith and Doc Rivers here. Who would have thought at this point of this 92-93 season that Doc Rivers would be enjoying the position of prominence and importance he enjoys now for the New York Knicks? In a game like this, Game 2, Chicago Bulls, 2-time champions, it's Doc Rivers leading the way, not only in leadership with what he does with the ball, but what he's doing with his scoring here this evening.
And a reminder, if there is a Game 5, there will be a MSG Sports Desk post-game show, a special playoff edition hosted by Al Troutwig, which will feature post-game interviews, the Pat Riley News Conference, Phil Jackson's comments to the media. That will follow Game 5 next Wednesday night. And should the Knicks be up 3-0 with a possible clincher Game 4 on Monday, there would also be a special playoff edition post-game show that's similar to what took place this past Sunday following game number 1. We'll be back right after these words. to the fourth quarter. The Knicks with a 77-63 lead on the Bulls. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutwig, Walt Frazier from the Garden. The Bulls 7 for 19 in the third. The Knicks 10 of 17 from the floor. Pippen able to knock it away, but knocked it out of bounds. John, including the playoffs a year ago, the Bulls have now lost 5 straight to the Knicks here at Madison Square Garden.
And Michael Jordan's poor shooting has continued. Now 10 out of 23 from the field tonight.
Shot clock at 1, and that is a violation.
During that 5-game losing streak the Bulls bring here, Michael has been a 35% shooter. So the Knicks have really found the knack, which is hard work and team defense. When Michael gets around the basket, he's got a lot of people to beat, and he's been unsuccessful.
Jordan sitting it out here at the start of the fourth. A 24-second violation, only the 10th turnover committed by the Knicks. That is a low number. Nice fake. Scott Williams crunched by Charles Smith. And a stare from Scott Williams in the direction of Charles Smith. Smith called for the foul, his fourth.
Nice look by Trent Tucker. Fine assortment of moves leading to that freedom that Williams found for himself. And a heavy glare at Charles.
The awful foul shooting by the Bulls continues. They've missed their last 5 at the line.
That's disgraceful. I mean, Phil Jackson has to be dying.
This is not a good free throw shooting team. They're at the bottom of the league. And despite that, you think a team that does not shoot well at the line would have problems come playoff time. But they have not been a good foul shooting team the last couple of years, but not as bad as this season. Obviously did not hurt them the previous 2 years. Knicks have a 13-point lead. Minute gone by in the fourth. Blackman finding Oakley, and a loose ball foul has been called.
Blackman all by himself, very unhappy with the way the move turned out.
Williams on the foul. That is his second. Rivers and Blackman at the guards. Mason, Smith, and Oakley up front.
Smith trying to become Patrick Ewing, in close now, gets a good lead pass. Succeeds in drawing the foul. Charles is always happy to play with his back to the basket down low. His role for the Knicks this year is small forward, but when given the opportunity to spell Ewing, he's done a good job.
And once again, it was Scott Williams called for the foul. Charles Smith to the line. He is 2 of 2 from the foul line. Overall, Knicks 17 for 23 from the line. Look at the Bulls, who have missed 5 of their last 6.
That's more than the foul shooting. Had they made them all, they'd still be behind by 3.
Not necessarily, Jim.
All the foul shots?
Well, you don't know what happened off rebounds or free throws?
No, just...
well, I mean, you can't make a conclusion.
But they need more than foul shooting. It's not the only problem.
Right. But you don't know what would happen. Have they hit some shots, missed a couple others that they hit?
Would you please shut up?
Trying to get your attention, John. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth quarter. That's a 3-point attack. Trent Tucker with his second 3 of the game. And it cuts it to a 10-point Knick lead. Can you imagine someone tuning in at the moment you said, can you please shut up now?
It's our last MST presentation. So I want to leave with a flourish.
Timeout called by the Knicks with 10:16 remaining in the game.
A week-long experience for kids ages 8 through 17. There's 5 sessions with day camps in Greenwich, Newburgh, and Old Westbury, and sleepover camps in Riverdale. The Westbury session is for both boys and girls. Guest lecturers include John Starks, Orlando Blackman, and Doc Rivers. Call 212-465-4100 now to learn more about the Gatorade Knicks Summer Camp and to reserve your spot with the Knicks. Well, contributions from the bench always important, and tonight the Knicks are dominating once again in that department, as they did the other day. 20-8 in favor of the Knicks off the bench the other night, and tonight, much to my surprise, the Bulls are leading 12-10, Marv. But the big five for the Knicks are doing the heavy work against the Bulls tonight.
Knicks lead at 77-67. Charles Smith extends to a 12-point lead with 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. B.J. Armstrong played on a switch by Charles Oakley. Michael Jordan still sitting it out. Joe Crawford with the whistle. And apparently the ball was deflected out. Crawford discussing it with Oakes. The official call has not been made. And a delay of game warning called on the Knicks. Apparently when that ball was deflected out, the Knicks kept it away from the Bulls.
I'm surprised to see Jordan on the bench at all at this point in the game.
Scott Williams just did beat the 24. The Knicks 79, the Bulls 69. Mason off the dribble. And he was fouled. Nice move by Mason, accelerating right by Pippen. Pippen reaching, call for his third. And Mason will go to the line. Mason is 3 out of 4 from the line. A 68% free throw shooter.
Well, this is the time where Pat Riley has his defense really kick in. He said the other day, we have great pride in our fourth quarter defense. And that is what he is going to stress to his team every chance he can, to lift it up now. Let's not coast in here. Let's start all over again and dig in and contest everything.
The Knicks 80, the Bulls 69. It's been another typical Knick type ball game, a grind out effort. Armstrong for 3. Oakley with the rebound. Oakley made contact with Williams. Scott Williams took a shot on the left side of his left cheek. But he's all right. Blackman lost it, but off his chest.
And finally, Phil Jackson yells to Michael, who pops out like a rookie to get back in this game.
Michael Jordan very anxious to get back pacing along the sideline.
I mean, that wasn't a superstar reaction to get back in the game. He was like a first-year player.
Here's Armstrong. Well, this time he hit from the left. He missed from the right. And he brings the Bulls within 9. B.J. with only his second field goal. Game has hit a lull with 8.5 remaining in the fourth. Blackman for 3. And Purdue lost it off the head of Pippen, recovered by Williams. Here's Pippen. Starks is, let's see what the call is here. He was taken down, loose ball foul on Williams. 4 on Scott Williams. And for the Bulls, their 14th foul. The Knicks have only 1.
John Starks so quick to the ball, draws the foul.
Michael Jordan is back. 25 first half points, 31 in all, but he has shot only 10 of 23. 8 minutes remaining of the game. Jordan guarding Rivers, now switches off to Starks. Here's Ewing. Nice fake on Purdue. Jordan with the save, look out. Mason got it back. Ewing. It counts, and the foul. Number 5 committed by Williams.
Oakley here as Jordan knocks the ball in bounds. Oakley sends it to a teammate who sends it to Patrick Ewing, who doesn't dribble the ball, goes right up and draws the foul after making the shot.
Well, Peter Vesey of USA Today and NBC Sports took a shot as Michael Jordan landed in his lap.
Pete will be very proud of that, Mark.
I think Pete had anything sarcastic to say to Michael as he made contact?
I'm sure it'll show up in a column in coming days.
A discontinuous call. Oh, Pippen is upset. Oh, that's a technical. He's been thrown out. He threw the ball hard at Bill Oakes, and he's been ejected. Oh, now Jordan chasing Oakes. Phil Jackson could get hit with a second. Scottie Pippen has been tossed. Oh, that's an enormous move. And now Pippen is being kept away by his teammates.
That's going to be debated, Marv, over and over again. I feel that Bill Oakes has a very short fuse, and yet you can defend the fact that he was embarrassed by Pippen. He was, but he still has a short fuse, and I don't know if you do that in a game like this. There's going to be a lot said about that. That's really costly.
Well, he's had the quick trigger right throughout. He has handed out a number of technical fouls. Meanwhile, Starks missed the technical. The Knicks have missed on 3 technical foul shots. And as the Knicks inbound, Joe Crawford blows the whistle. And the officials trying to straighten things out. Scottie Pippen has been ejected. Leads with 17 points. Joe Crawford is pointing to the clock. Apparently the substitutions were not properly announced. Now all is official. So the Knicks with a big break. Apparently there were 6 players on the court. That's why they had to straighten things out. 6 players momentarily. Here's Ewing. Loose ball foul. It's called on the Knicks. Mason picks it up. It's so unusual to see a Knick opposition player go off as Scottie Pippen did. Usually that is something that the Knicks are guilty of. As Michael Jordan is able to hit, and the Knicks now lead 83-73.
Pippen was arguing the call, the infraction that was called against him for mishandling the ball, and unfortunately for him, official Bill Oakes was right near him when he flipped the ball at him and got Oakes off balance and had the effect of embarrassing the official.
First he threatened, motioned as if he were going to throw the ball hard, and then he did. Starks, strong move by Starks, who was fouled. And a timeout has been called by the Bulls with 6:40 to go, 4th quarter. A moment ago we saw Scottie Pippen ejected. Not the first time that he's been tossed out in a playoff game against the Knicks back in '89 in a playoff battle in the Eastern semifinals. Scottie Pippen got involved in a fight with one-time Knick Kenny Walker, and they both were tossed. Scottie with a left hand. Walker tried to come back with a left, and both thrown out. Darryl Garrettson in the midst of that one.
Well, our staff came prepared for a little Scottie Pippen extracurricular activities tonight. Scottie out of the game now because of his response to the official upon getting a call that he didn't like. The Bulls now down by 10, 6:40 left. More pressure on Michael Jordan.
In all, 6 technical fouls have been called tonight. The Bulls hit with 4. Phil Jackson, Scott Williams, Bill Cartwright, Scottie Pippen, the technical and the ejection. And the Knicks assess 2. Oakley and Mason called for tees.
Well, this is the exact score with approximately this time left in the game that the Knicks and Bulls were at on Sunday.
Knicks now lead 84-73. Time remaining 6 minutes and 40 seconds. John Starks hitting double figures. He now has 10 after the slow start.
And as fans remember, John had his 4 3-point shots in the fourth quarter. But there's lots to follow here with only 6:35 left to go.
Will Perdue is up front now with Scott Williams and Horace Grant. Michael Jordan, B.J. Armstrong in the backcourt. Scottie Pippen is through for the game. Here's Jordan. Deflected out by the Knicks as Doc Rivers lands in front of Knick trainer Mike Saunders. Jordan is now 11 for 25, 33 points in all, but has not had a good one. In the second half, he has been stifled. Jordan changed his mind, and Rivers right there. Oh, Rivers comes up lame. He's hurt. He pulled something. He looked to be having a knee problem just moments ago, and he had a call for the timeout.
After another terrific defensive play. Well, moments ago, Michael Jordan going up for the shot, forced to give it up by the play of John Starks. And Rivers can see early in that move, after he succeeded in stealing the ball, he showed great pain.
Well, Doc will sit down. They will check him out. Greg Anthony replacing Doc Rivers. And we're told it is a leg cramp. If that's the case, that's very good news for the Knicks. He had similar leg cramps in the series against the Charlotte Hornets. 6 on the shot clock. Ewing. Jordan with the save. Bulls still very much alive. But down by 11 with 5:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. What a look from Jordan, and Williams was fouled.
Williams did a Charles Oakley. He went for the defensive man instead of going up for the shot. Meanwhile, Greg Anthony looms very large for the Knicks now in this part of the game. He's got the job unless Rivers can shake that off. There's the pass inside. Williams concentrating on Mason as he goes up and draws the foul.
Mason was called for his 5th. Scott Williams now 3 out of 5 from the line. Rivers trying to work through the leg cramps. The Knicks now lead 84-75. Pat Riley going with Anthony and Starks at the guards. Oakley, Mason, and Ewing up front.
Jordan loves it now. He loves guarding Anthony. You just know it. He wants that ball.
Once he can gamble, they'll give Anthony the shot. He doubled up on Ewing. That time Patrick Ewing did not throw it out. He was double and triple team. Now Jordan beats Starks off the dribble. And a foul is called.
Finally.
Will Perdue hit from behind.
Finally a presence on the offensive boards. Perdue and Williams combining to create some havoc.
Anthony Mason with his 6th. So Mason leaves 8 points, 7 rebounds. Charles Smith returns. That a non-shooting foul. The Bulls over the limit. The next foul committed by the Knicks will put them over the limit. 5 minutes remaining of the game. Knicks trying to go 2 up in the series. Bulls hoping to tie it at 1. Here's Jordan exploding but not able to hit. And it's tipped home. Scott Williams with the tip. And the Bulls are within 7.
Their big men are taking over now. The Knicks need a new life on the boards from their front line.
Perdue jumps out. Try to trap Anthony. Again the double on Ewing. Oakley is fouled. Oakley will go to the line. Foul on Williams, number 6, although Grant raising his hand trying to get the call on him. because he has only 3. Scott Williams fouling out. 12 points, 7 rebounds.
Phil Jackson figuring out who gets the call now. Got to be Stacey King. But what about Bill Cartwright?
That's the decision that he's mulling. Well, he's going small with John Paxson. He's going to go 3 guards. You know, as it turns out, a guy who has been deactivated actually on the injured list with a phantom injury would have helped in this series. Ed Neely, who they made the decision with Darrell Walker and Rodney McCray healthy to go with Walker, but McCray has given them nothing. And a guy like Neely can create havoc off the boards, but
Phil Jackson will leave himself open to a lot of criticism because John Paxson hasn't shown he has the touch at all, and the rebounding by the Bulls front line has been formidable, and now they are going with 2 big men instead of 3.
Knicks 86, the Bulls 77. Well, he's hoping that if one of the other guards would be able to catch fire, that'll force Pat Riley into making a move.
Doing a good job keeping Jordan out by half court, knocking time away.
And Jordan is able to penetrate, and he is walloped by Anthony, and that should be a flagrant. Yes, it is.
He's out, Marv.
Oh, he's been thrown out.
Bill Oakes at it again with a big call.
You know, this is an answer to the fact that I think that people in the league office were upset last year that John Starks was not ejected for the flagrant foul on Scottie Pippen, and they feel they should have made that move. And there's no hesitation right here. Now, normally it would be a flagrant foul, but that's a major move to throw Anthony
out. Look how high Anthony goes in the air.
Well, that's a bad foul. There's no question
about it. Hard to say. He was looking to play the ball because he was so far behind Jordan.
He was looking to hurt Michael Jordan. That was not playing the ball. But I don't know whether you throw the guy out. I mean, that was an obvious attempt to injure.
Behind. That's a no-win situation for Anthony. He can do nothing but cause harm to his opponent on a play like that.
So Anthony sits down, and apparently Doc Rivers is all right. He's back after departing because of the leg cramps. Purdue rebounded by Ewing.
Meanwhile, Doc Rivers, limping off the court moments ago, is feeling it again.
I think he's struggling too. Knicks lead 86-78.
Yes, he is limping slightly.
Well, the other option is Hubert Davis, who has not played at all. Last touch by the Knicks. And the Bulls take a timeout with 3:41 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Knicks lead by 8.
Remember, when you're having good times with friends, use good sense and drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Well, the Bulls on the move moments ago. Michael Jordan going in for the basket, beats his man, but Greg Anthony from behind clobbers Jordan. That was ruled a flagrant foul. Penalty 2, which means automatic ejection and a fine. Look who's out of the game now. Pippen was ejected for arguing a call. Scott Williams is fouled out. Greg Anthony gone, and Anthony Mason fouled out. This game has turned rough.
3:41 remaining 4th quarter. The Knicks 86, the Bulls 78. Phil Jackson going with only 2 big men, Purdue, along with Grant, and the 3 guards. Shot clock at 6. They denied Jordan the ball. Armstrong got it off. He hits, and the foul. An enormous shot by B.J. Armstrong. Rivers called for the foul, his second, and Armstrong will go to the line.
Certainly looked like he shuffled his feet many times with the many fakes that he presented to Doc Rivers. But he's able to get that shot up and in at a most dramatic time, as you say, Mark.
86% free throw shooter on the line for the first time. 3-point play. The Knicks now lead 86-81. Going with a pummeling Doc Rivers. The Bulls with a 10-3 run. Starks looking for the screen. Smith stripped by Jordan.
Amazing play by Jordan, who was solidly behind Charles and still stole it.
Here is Jordan. The Bulls are within 3, and the Knicks call for time with 2:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. 12-3 run for Chicago, and it is now Michael Jordan time.
The Bulls have crept to within 3 now without Scottie Pippen in attendance. Take a look from our upper deck trading card camera. B.J. Armstrong going one-on-one, fakes and fakes and fakes, and finally gets a shot up and in. And that began what became a 3-point play. Now, Charles Smith at 6'10", taking Jordan down low, backing him in. How does Jordan steal the ball? 3 years now, Jordan has led the NBA in steals, and that was a gigantic one. And look what he followed it with.
The Bulls have outscored the Knicks 20-9. Here in the fourth quarter, the Knicks have not scored a field goal in almost 5 minutes on this fourth. 2:35 remaining. Ewing, yes, and it counts. A big bucket for Patrick Ewing, who was fouled by Will Perdue.
Oh, the timing of this pass and the delivery by Starks is so on target. That's a function of guys playing together so long now, and Starks and Ewing really have it together on this side of the court.
3-point play for Ewing, and the Knicks lead 89-83. Knicks have 2 timeouts remaining. Bulls have 2 and a 20. Bulls remaining with the small lineup. They go with 3 guards. Starks continues to do a job against Jordan. They deny him the ball. Now Jordan gets to it. 5 on the 24. Jordan. Oh, what a pass. And Grant threw it out. Paxson for 3. John Paxson hits from downtown. It's a 3-point Knicks lead.
How smart does Phil Jackson feel now? Paxson coming through.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Ewing. Another tough shot for Patrick Ewing. The Knicks 91 and the Bulls 86. Ewing has 26. 1:45 remaining in the fourth. Here's Jordan finding Perdue, rejected by Ewing.
Big moments in the career of Patrick Ewing.
Again, Smith coughed it up, and a foul is called on Rivers. Charles Smith very unsure with the basketball. Not the man that you want handling the ball against the Bulls when in desperation they are looking to strip.
Jordan denied at the baseline, making Starks making him give it up. And Will Perdue, a 7-footer, is sent home unhappy by that block by Ewing. And Charles Smith with the ball, wrestled free by Michael Jordan.
John Paxson to the line. He is an 85% free throw shooter, but did not go to the line much during the regular season. Now Perdue is replaced by Cartwright. The Knicks lead is now 4. Charles Smith will sit down. Rolando Blackman will come on. The Knicks led by as many as 14.
I'll tell you, Marv, it'll be tough for Perdue to get time anymore in this series. He's let the Bulls down now for 2 straight games.
The Knicks lead is 3. Patrick Ewing with a couple of huge field goals. A 3-point play, then the jump shot a moment ago. They double up on Ewing, and the pass saved by Rivers. Recovered by Oakley. Here's Ewing. And oh, look out, Cartwright submarined and hurt. Bill Cartwright accidentally taken down by Oakley. They were both going for the ball. Looked like Bill landed on his shoulder. And the Bulls trainer Chip Schaefer out to take a look. And apparently he's all right. What a spill.
Well, Bill Cartwright now going up in the air to play some defense.
Whoa.
Undercut by Charles Oakley. Big man of that size, shaken up greatly on a play like that.
If he is all right, he's very fortunate. Bill Cartwright, a player who over the years has been involved in a number of injuries, usually at his expense. He's one of these players, similar to his coach Phil Jackson, who would hurt his own teammates during practice sessions because of his awkward moves. He would get in the way of people and has over the years caused a number of injuries. And this time he's okay.
I remember in an exhibition game against Houston a couple of years ago, Bill clobbered Elijah and kept him out for a long time.
And Cartwright all right to go to the line. Now, Bill Cartwright, throughout most of his career, was a solid free throw shooter, but in recent years has had problems at the line because he has not gone to the line that much. He's 1 for 3 tonight and misses both. Crucial free throws missed by Cartwright, and the Knicks lead remains at 3. We're down to 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Starks. Yes! What a move by Starks, who was able to sky to the basket. The Bulls call for time. John Starks with the move of the night to give the Knicks a 5-point lead with 47 seconds remaining in the fourth. Here it is.
B.J. Armstrong expects help now. He's looking around. He gets picked off. No help comes, and Starks goes. Oh, so big. And look who was at the top. None other than Michael Jordan. And he couldn't do anything about it. What a spectacular move. That's as Jordan-like, Marv, as any other player in the NBA can get.
John Starks started slowly, did not have a productive first half offensively, although he continues to do an excellent job defensively when matched against Michael Jordan. Only 1 for 5 from the field in the first half. He now has 12 points. He has hit 4 of his last 6.
How about Michael Jordan in his gracious response the other day to questions about John Starks after the game, saying, I didn't follow him in the CBA. I didn't know about him in college, but I know about him now.
So we're down to 47 and 3/10 of a second. When we resume, it will be Chicago ball, and they are down by 5. This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA. Crowd reacting to the replay that is shown above on Garden Vision. Chicago Bulls players looking up. They were not as tantalized by watching it as this crowd of 19,000. The Knicks seeking to make it a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 as the series shifts to Chicago Stadium, beginning with the game on Saturday afternoon. That'll be Game 3, Game 4 in Chicago next Monday afternoon.
Jordan wants it himself now.
Starks poked it away. Starks stepped out of bounds. But another brilliant play by John Starks, who in the second half has once again outplayed Michael Jordan.
What effort, what a play. Not only does he do it at the offensive end, but Starks now comes down and faces Michael himself.
Here's Jordan for 3. Rebounded by Jordan. Jordan missed on the drive, and a foul called by Joe Crawford against the Knicks. It's called on Rivers. Both teams are over the limit. So the Bulls will go to the line. And what hurts about that foul is the clock is stopped, gives the Bulls an opportunity to trim that lead down to 3. But again, it's Cartwright, who missed 2 just a moment ago. The Knicks 93, the Bulls 89.
Bulls will be forced into a fouling situation now with the clock down so low.
So Cartwright hits on both. The Knicks with a 3-point lead. Off the pressure, the pass is thrown away.
Pat Riley's got to be kicking himself now, allowing Charles Oakley to handle the ball.
And Rolando Blackman was shaken up, diving for that ball, but it goes back to Chicago. The Bulls have 1 timeout left. The Knicks have 2 remaining. 23 seconds to go. Chicago trailing by 3. And here's Jordan going for the 2 points. Cartwright. That could have been a 3-point opportunity. Rivers called for the foul. Is 4th, and Cartwright will go to the line.
But despite Michael Jordan's difficulty in field goal percentage shooting, he's still able to penetrate time and again and get his teammates good shots in close.
Correction, that was number 5 on Rivers. Cartwright 3 of 6 from the line. So Bill Cartwright, who missed 2 important free throws earlier, now has hit 3 in a row. The Knicks 93 and the Bulls 91. 15 and 3/10 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. Rebounded by Oakley. And a foul call.
That could be a break for the Bulls.
Horace Grant called for the foul. Yes, you look at the Knicks squad on the floor right now, and if you were to choose who you would like to foul, it would be Charles Oakley.
And without seconds ticking off the clock, if he wasn't fouled, that wasn't an intentional foul, but I'm sure Phil Jackson ordered it in his very deep psychological thinking.
Charles, though, has improved his free throw shooting. He's 3 for 4 today, 72% during the regular season. Down to 12 and 7/10 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
How ironic. Charles Oakley and Bill Cartwright, both of whom were traded by the respective teams here tonight, are here at the finish determining the outcome.
And the Knicks now lead by 3.
Been a 5-year spell for both players on each team.
What foul shooting by Charles Oakley. The Knicks 95 and the Bulls 91. Chicago takes a timeout.
With 7-10 seconds left, the Knicks would like to see a lot fewer seconds because this thing is taking a long time to wind down. But Charles Oakley in a pressure-packed moment now, and he would be the man the Bulls would select to go to the line. Find success on shot number 1. Charles getting a lot of bench support as well on that shot. Phil Jackson doing his best with his staring, but it didn't work as Charles Can 2 for 2 and giving the Knicks a little more breathing room, but it's never enough with Superman on the court wearing number 23.
And the 2-time defending champion Chicago Bulls now in a desperate situation with 12 and 7/10 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. They do not have any timeouts left. Purdue pops it in. Here's Jordan for 3. Rebound Oakley, and he is fouled. Charles Oakley with, I would have to say, for a rare time scarring for that rebound. He went up against Purdue. Not that Will Purdue is a leaper, but you don't see Charles usually get his rebounds by jumping.
Yes, those hands up, it looked like around the rim, and as we know, most rebounding is done below the rim, particularly by Charles. But you're right, Marv, he was up there.
Michael Jordan's number is 12 for 31. Well, he faced the Heat in the Chicago media, which is incredible. But he took a pounding Can you imagine what he will be reading tomorrow?
Well, he was so gracious here the other day, and one of the writers out there, one of the more aggressive guys, referred to Michael now becoming a good loser, which is unbelievable.
And this series is far from over. The Knicks now lead 96-91. Final seconds. Here's Jordan for three. Oh, an air ball. Perhaps a symbolic ending for the Bulls. The Knicks have made it 2 out of 2 against the Chicago Bulls. A 96-91 victory. Game 3 in Chicago on Saturday afternoon. Another dramatic win by the New York Knicks.